Another single weapon run today. This time, it's flawless. The only weapon that is absolutely perfect in every single way. Okay, but really, it is a pretty decent spear. Got kind of some wonky hitboxes. I always find it kind of hard to judge if I'm going to be hitting an enemy or not, or at least when I originally started trying to use this weapon. And really, it overall has otherwise pretty good damage as long as you're not getting hit. I mean, in some ways, it's pretty much everything I want out of the... Oh, that was close. In fact, all of these are very close. It's pretty much everything I want out of the Cursed Sword, but, you know, wasn't really getting due to the whole die in a single hit type of thing. I do like this weapon a lot. It's just, this game is already stressful enough as it is. Taking a weapon that requires you to play perfectly is kind of adding on to that. So it's almost one of those too good to use type of weapons, much like you got in old school RPGs when it comes to using your mega elixirs and everything like that. The Flawless is a great weapon that you almost don't want to take just because, what if you don't have it on? I mean, at least it's only 15 seconds right now before you can inflict critical hits again. Little red X appears above your head and you just, well, don't get the critical hits. I mean, it's still pretty decent damage despite that. It's just knowing that you're losing out. Knowing that you're losing out on something. One of the most famous anecdotes about World of Warcraft was how the bonus that you get for resting was originally a penalty, something that would prevent you from getting the maximum amount of XP that you would normally get if you were playing for too many hours in a row. And that was changed instead to being a bonus, the amount of XP that you get, just because people found it so frustrating that they were losing out on something. Same thing with this weapon, it feels like. So I don't know. I mean, I'm gonna try to avoid using it too much. It is, however, hey, if you were gonna get a type of necklace to get in this run, this would be it. Anyway, what was I actually saying here? I do think that this weapon is also good enough that it can be used in a single weapon run. The damage is great, even if you don't have the critical on here. It's overall just a good build that you can go with for a single weapon run, survival, make sure that you're pretty much always staying at maximum health, what with the whole Necromancy. Even as nerfed as it's become, like 30 plus survival, you only get, what, 1.5% healed or so per kill. That's still enough. That's still enough to keep you hale and hearty for quite a long time. So yeah, and like I said, damage is still fine even if you don't have the critical on here. It's just, I don't know, you want to keep that critical on as much as possible. I mean, why not? It's free real estate, and also damage. I mean, speaking of which, yeah, it's a little bit over 2 times damage if you have that critical hit on there. Combine that with the usual sort of... You generally get a lot of plus, just straight percentage damage, plus 20% damage on the Flawless that I'm currently using, up to plus 40%. Oh, yeah. Forgot about this. Up to plus 40% if it as a special affix. It's a lot of ways to get a lot of extra damage out of these weapons, even aside from just having a decently leveled one. I'm hoping that this will be an easy one, but who knows? Who knows? Dead Cells is still a game with a lot of tricks up its sleeve, and it's willing to use those tricks at every single opportunity, as I've seen many, many a time. Really, I'm just mostly worried about trying to attack an enemy that I might not be able to hit with the weapon. Because I'm more confident in my ability to actually use the weapon properly. It's just, I've known up until this point that the hitboxes are wonky, and that's a worrying thing. So if I can stay out of battle for as long as possible, that's probably for the best. And really, the invisibility necklace would make sure of that, but... Come on, we're that's a little bit too cheesy here. I always say that, you know, if you're given an advantage in a game, you should be taking it. Otherwise, if you don't play the game's going to be playing you. But there's also a certain level where it's like, okay, but I'm also making a video here. Well, one of the things that's definitely going to help here is that launches a grenade affix. That, come on, single weapon. Don't use the stomp. That's still considered a weapon, at least as far as I'm concerned. But yes, the grenade is going to come out before I actually get the swing out here. It's going to be like a little bit of a warning shot that's going to take down a lot of the very simple enemies that I'm going to be comparatively up against. Bats, kamikaze bats, everything like that will go down much quicker. One of the very nice strategies when it comes to using any sort of survival weapon. Just making sure that you have... I mean, you'll usually have one of those affixes on there, regardless of if you want it or not. But now you can actually make some usage out of it. Thought I was going to get hit there. Enemies cannot teleport to you when they are being shielded. Which is an important thing to remember, because that includes even if you're not on 4-cell mode. And oh, wow, that was very close. That includes even on not 4-cell mode with enemies that just do regular teleporting. Your phasers, your... runners, these guys, which were formerly called phasers. I was thinking of the trackers. Trackers is what I was thinking about. Well, it should be able to also breach enemies. I mean, the huge amount of damage here doesn't only work in my favor because it's a huge amount of damage. I mean, yeah. Enough said on that point. But also, it does make sure that I can probably breach enemies. You know, give them that little bit of momentary stunnage that will prevent them from attacking me. So it's kind of like, as long as I get a first hit in on an enemy, they should be, you know, getting stunned long enough that I'll be able to take them out. And by stunned long enough, I mean stunned for a single extra hit, which is all it's going to take. Ugh. I'm betting that if I can really nail the whole flawless premise, get a lot of cursed chest action, ton of extra stats through that even if I do not have the critical on here, I should be able to take down just about anything, no probalo at all. At least that's what I'm hoping. Definitely going to have to remember that if I'm gonna go for the shockers, yeah, maybe I'll take a little bit of a different route this time. After all, I like going the Ossuary a lot. I do think it's one of the easier sections to go through. No exploding bats in there. Bombers, which is kind of an issue. But overall, I'd like to say that compared to the Rampart, or at least compared to the Rampart as an update or so ago. And I got hit anyway. There's the X. So unfortunately, this run is not going to live up to the flawless name, as I have now been hit. I mean, as it is, I probably already named it like Flawless the Weapon Run, so there's not going to be any sort of confusion. But still, it would have been fun if it was also a flawless run on top of that. Maybe it's just me. There's that 40% damage, but yeah, nah, not at the cost. I mean, it's a lower level 1 period, and not at the cost of suffering from lack of stats due to what you know, my other shenanigans here. I think the more unfortunate thing about that is the fact that I lost my 60 kill streak. If I got those 60 kills, that would have been another very high level flawless for me here. That's the only thing we got unlocked right now, so it's the only thing that's going to be showing up. Which means every single time I get to a time door or anything, I'm going to have one waiting for me. Ready to go. Slow down nearby enemies could be useful. 1 HP recovered, I mean... I already have to be flawless. It's not a terrible option. It's a lot of extra damage taken, though, especially considering that even though I am going for a survival run right now, it's a very razor's edge survival run. I'm sure you probably noticed the fact that there we are. Also nice. I'm sure you probably already noticed the fact that I only have 1,300 health, despite the fact that this is a survival run. Kind of comes with the territory of having 1 brutality and 2 tactics. Does not make for a very tanky build. With time it absolutely will be. Ooh, don't get that guy's attention. With time, it absolutely will be tanky. It's just Oh, right, invisibility. I know it's cheesy, and I was also just abusing one of the invisibility necklaces from in one of the recent streams here, the Seismic Strike stream, but at the same time, it's like, I mean, come on. Come on. You know, just come on. All right, let's just go. You know, I'm going to hit up the Ossuary. I want to have a nice, good run. It's been a little while since I've done a single weapon run here. I want it to be a pleasant one. Not going to be too difficult. Despite saying that in the bottom right corner on that load screen that this is very hard, I don't want it to feel that way. A walk in the park would be very nice. Damage inflicted on enemies. I mean, I really should switch this out just to, you know, get a little bit of extra health, to get rid of the cheesy necklace, everything like that, but yeah, goodbye. I'm gonna miss you. I'll miss you, cheesy necklace, but your cheese was too good for this world. I cannot in good conscience continue rolling with that. I mean, that's the sort of thing that a scallywag like Fred Durst would do. And I do not roll that way. Yeah. That was terrible. But, really, it's only deserving of the front man of Limp Bizkit when you think about it. Oh, come on! Well, you can see, like I said there, damage is still okay even if you lose the bonus. And really, I have more than enough enemies. This is weird. I have more than enough enemies here to, one, heal me back up, to continue going with the 60 kill bonus, everything like that. Breach even should still be fine. I mean, we're looking at a 2-cell run. I have nearly 12 points of survival right now. It's a lot of good stuff. I mean, there's a lot of good things to look at with this run. And like I said, 15 seconds, not nearly as bad as the 30 seconds that it once was. 30 seconds was a very long time, and it was understandable. The critical is amazing. It's great. It's no question. You just get a huge amount of damage, and provided that you play well, of course, it's permanent. You don't have to worry about it at all. And even if you do kind of screw it up a little bit, you can just duck away into a shop or something for a second. Enemies can't attack you in shops except for elites, which is an important distinction to make. I gotta be sure about that, but it's like, it's an easy way to make sure that if you want to play this weapon slow, you don't have to play this weapon fast. It isn't like a swift sword or because if that guy turns around, there we go, nice. That curse is gonna kill me immediately if I don't hit that guy in the face. Well, he can't teleport up here. It's only 2-cell mode. Something that I constantly forget about. I'm so used to playing on hard as possible difficulty, after all. Okay, just gotta be careful. Come on, Flawless, live up to your name here. Uh-oh. Okay. Just gotta have Flawless living up to its name. And by living up to its name, I mean I have to live up to its name. It's not like the weapon's going to be attacking anything by itself. We're not dealing with some sort of Dungeons and Dragons-esque intelligent weapons here. At least not yet. Maybe someday they'll take my suggestion of adding the singing sword into the game. The most obnoxious... Ugh. Oh, right. Don't do that. Oh, it's fine. It's fine. Yeah, the most obnoxious weapon in all of Dungeon Crawl history. It's pretty great because, of course, enemies in those games can hear you, and if they hear you, they'll come and attack. Hit me in the back. Anyway, ignore that voice. I don't know where it came from. A deep and dark place inside of me that I hope that we never see again. At least until Sweeps Week, when it breaks out and takes over the channel. Stop doing that! That's not how this is supposed to work. It's not how single weapon runs work. How they do. But anyway, I was saying, yes, enemies can hear you in the game. If they hear you, they'll come and mob you. And as with most roguelikes, many enemies attacking you at once is a bad thing. Needless to... Right. No teleporting, needless to say. So the singing sword is a pretty decent sword from what I remember that will sing pretty much constantly and attract enemies to you all the time. It's horrible. But it is an artifact weapon, can't be destroyed by normal means, tends to be pretty powerful in one way or another. It's just obnoxious. Oh, well, not like it really matters. In that game, I usually tend to play casters, which at high levels, when you're casting like Firestorm, it's not like you're planning on being stealthy anyway. Though I also usually played as human casters, which meant that I tended not to get the stats required to get some of the more powerful spells, and went with kind of a magical knight type of thing. Taking my Executioner's Axe, using... Oh, got hit anyway. Taking my Executioner's Axe, casting haste on myself, and of course, just, what was it, like some sort of darkness to make sure that enemies couldn't see me nearly as easy. I also had my potion of, roguelikes are fun, let's just say that, before I get too far into this and we kind of forget the whole, hey, you're playing Dead Cells here, idiot. Stop reminiscing about the good old days of Dungeon Crawl, Stone Soup. That time that you played as an intelligent octopus and got decently far in the game. Anyway. Should be able to actually breach this guy. Yeah. Now that is what you're looking for when it comes to a high level flawless. Just crushing enemies before they can do anything. The damage is great. I'm nearly getting 5,000 unaugmented in any way. I don't have my precious poison on here. I'm one-shotting enemies here. It's like on your average 5-cell run, especially if I was picking up things that were, you know, not this weapon, I would have many more points of survival, whether it's through curse chests or different routes or whatever. It's like, it would be even better. But like I said, is the stress worth it? Well, that's not a decision I can make. You have to look deep within yourself and realize that in one way or another. Now, unfortunately, this is going to require me to deal with another curse, and... boy. Yeah, I know I'm cheesing it out, kinda, but, like, come on. Okay. Yeah, of course. I'm glad that I didn't try to stick around there thinking that he wasn't going to run into me. That would have been a mistake. But not that. No. I know I'm using the stomping a little bit more than usual, but I already failed the whole, I already failed the whole, do this honorably when I took the invisibility necklace, after all. Boy, stress here is getting to me, you can tell. Nice. Nice and nice. Nice like, lice. That's not true. Lice are horrible. Nice like rice. Good side dish. Great base for a lot of meals. Much better than stinging insects. Actually, are they insects or are they considered bugs? I at one point in time knew the difference between the two, but not anymore. Kind of surprised I didn't get hit there. Kind of surprised I didn't get hit there either. Considering that my whole streak in the new save file ended to a very similar sort of situation, wouldn't have surprised me if I got knocked right out of my animation. We were pulling into Pain Town here. Fast track to Painesville. Me. Right now. Oh well, if nothing else, the weapon also gives pretty decent... You know, along with the regular non-critical augmented hits, also just doing decent damage. It also means that more powerful hits means more rally. More rally helps me out a lot here. Also, man, I gotta tell you... Oh, Sure. The grenade actually took him out. But anyway. Things are looking good. Let's just say that. Like I said, I don't know, because it's got that cursed sword problem. You don't literally die, but it does kind of feel like that. But 15 seconds is flying by real fast. Even in a single fight, I can hit the critical counter again, and, you know, I'm sitting pretty. Aside from that, anything else that I want to look at here? Now, I'm going to say that, like, my original assertion of this being a good weapon still been borne out in this run. I'm still feeling it. I'm still feeling great. Feeling good. I don't really see how anything like that would change anytime soon. As much as I would like to have gone for the 60 kills, it was not to be. Really, I'm just glad that I didn't die from a curse, because I should probably not be taking those at this point in time. Just, you know. I think the risks outweigh the benefits. Because it is a survival weapon still. Survival scaling weapon, and survival scaling weapon says problems with hitting enemies. Problems that you do not want to have when you are cursed. Because I can take a hit right now. It's just putting myself in a position where I can't is some real questionable decision-making on my part. Oh, I might be able to still hit 15 minutes if I hurry up with this fight. Wouldn't be the worst thing. And that damage says it's going pretty well right now. I'm gonna remember, even the smallest damage here means that I lose out on my criticals. So I'm going to want to try to avoid getting hit by the damage field. And hopefully I can. Yeah, I think the plan here, it's like with the whole questionable hitbox, is just get right up to enemies. Just get right in their face. Don't even worry about it. You know what I'm saying? What are they gonna do? I mean, they're gonna try to attack you, but, you know, if you played the game for 1,200 hours like I am, currently, right now, in a row. You didn't know that? Every single one of the videos on this channel have all been recorded in a row. Oh, so close. But at least I didn't get hit there, so still nice. So still looking pretty good. Yeah, I just sometimes go very long times without uploading to try to fool you into thinking that I record these things before I put them out. How did I have all of the updates? I am a time traveler. Enemies that hit you freeze, that's not terrible. What do you got, though? You know what? I'll take it. I really should have some off stats here just to make sure that I'm not going to be getting bad things occurring. And, well, I mean, oh no, I'm not on 3 cells or above. But the damage is more. But I would also lose out on damage because I got rid of one of my stats. Yeah, 3 cells and above is only when you start to get the 3 stats on legendary weapons. Can't forget about that. No. I think I'm going to want to try to stack as many weapons as possible onto one thing here. And we're back to nothing else to do. Of course. Let's go up here. Hey, if I'm already thinking that it's like, I'm done taking cursed chests, let's get into a position where you know, it'll be going better overall. I don't know. I just feel like, well, I really, you know, with the whole, like, biters and bombers and everything like that, it would be difficult either direction that I took this run, but this is also has golems in it, so, you know. That's something. Also, I don't tend to go to this area, so I'm just trying to make excuses, make up for the fact that I just went into the Ossuary once again with these runs. And next one, I'll switch it up. I'm thinking at this point I might actually just start doing all casual runs as streams and leave videos for more specific, like a curated, that's not the word, more specific, like a focused type of runs, like looking at Flawless here. Because I do think that this sort of thing benefits a lot from, you know, being able to re-record and everything like that. Whereas casual runs are just casual runs anyway. If they're kind of like a trashy stream type of content, they should be streamed. There we go. Well, I'm not going to say I was proud of that one, but I also can't deny that it happened. Okay, as it is, though, should be totally fine. Maybe wait like one more second before I start attacking the golem. This is very frustrating. Yep. Just got to get him in a corner, I guess, because, you know. I mean, like, what are my other choices here? Anyway, let's go up to the food shop, go buy another potion charge. Yeah, I'm going to get one as soon as I go fight whomever I'm going to go fight. It's probably going to be the Timekeeper, I'm going to say that right now. Survival weapons are definitely not ones built to fight the Giant. Giant is... I mean, he's flying in the air most of the time, you know? So, it's like a slow weapon that you really need to plan out does not work too well against the guy. Especially one that really rewards not getting hit a lot, which I definitely continue to have struggles with to this very day in terms of El Giganto. Well, I mean, it's only marginally less damage. Yeah, but like, what do I really need it for? I only need one flawless, and the second one is just, you know, stat one. Talking about old school Warcraft again, think of this as like the, you know, the second one is the druid weapon that... There we go. The second one is the druid weapon that just gives me the stats. The good off stats that I need. WoW Classic, coming out soon. This is sponsored by Blizzard. It's not. If Blizzard wants to sponsor, I have played a lot of Warcraft. I can talk about... Ooh. Well, I mean... Yeah, of course. But of course. Stop doing that. There. Poison is interesting. That's a good way to double damage and something I'm always looking forward to whenever I'm doing one of these runs. Getting a weapon with something like that on there. And... okay, it's this one that does the poison, and then the one that I have my first slot will be the one that benefits off of the poison. Or the second slot now, I guess, because I forgot how things do. Okay, let's just kind of like clear out of here, just in case it's a golem. I'm just constantly forgetting what I'm doing here. I think I'm going to keep what I got right now just because the off-statage is a little bit better and I don't have to worry about, you know, other shenanigans when it comes to making sure that, bad setup. Yeah, making sure that I have the whole tactics here is going to make sure that I have the maximum amount of health possible. And as we have seen with the golem, that might be more useful than you think. There we are. Double damage with a flawless. Definitely very good. I mean, let me tell you, of the weapons that I would say you could carry you through by themselves on you know, any individual difficulty, 2-cell is the obvious example right now, but there's other ones. Oh, right, dead inside. Flawless would not be the first one. It would be Giant Killer. And then maybe Hemorrhage. And then Boy's Axe. Flawless is in there, though. It is one. I would consider that as one. Definitely Boy's Axe #1, though. Yeah, just gotta actually roll with him instead of against him was the issue that I was currently experiencing when doing that. All right, all right. Let's just have this be the primary weapon, the one that poisons. And then, switch over to the second one once I get the poison on there or whatever, just to make sure that I have the maximum amount of damage possible. I mean, I think there is something to be said about the fact that I am completely screwing up a lot of the more basic ways that I should be handling this weapon and still getting through just fine. Really speaks to the power that you get here, after all. And I think that is undeniable. Oh, I mean, like, I could, but I don't think that this is a very good build to be taken into. I'm just gonna go the traditional route. Next time, I'll do a wacky, crazy route. Do something a little bit different. Just for right now, though, I'm gonna be careful. I'm gonna be cautious. Careful, cautious, and contemplative. Contemplative. Contemplative? I've heard people say it both ways. You know, that's the reverse of calm, cool, and collected. Well, it's actually not the reverse, it's actually more the complementary. To throw more C words in there. Didn't think that this was going to turn into a linguistics podcast, did you? I mean, at the same time, didn't you? It just seems like a natural sort of way for the episodes of this thing to go. Oh, do I want to go deal with that guy, though? I don't think it's worth it. I was already very much not in favor of taking cursed chests. What am I doing even doing it right now, anyway? Fool! Good way to get yourself killed here. Especially when the risks are so unnecessary as it is. It's completely, I mean, it's entirely unnecessary. You do not need to do this to have a good run. No. Your run is going just fine. You're getting greedy. It's hubris. It's the exact sort of thing that I was talking about in the Skiro episodes, where you should just go with what works. When you start trying to get fancy, that's when you die. That's what Raiden said about a Sundowner, and I believe him. I mean, why wouldn't I trust Jack the Ripper? After all. Okay. Alright, so there we go. 5 left, and then I could get one more cursed chest here, but again, like, you really going to? Wait, what? Where'd you come from? Was that not the one that teleported? I'm getting confused. Oh, right. Hey, you. Hey, you guys. Come and attack me here. There we go. All right, let's stop taking curses. The run's going fine. I have nearly, what, 20 points of... Yeah, see, if I kept taking curses, would have gotten killed there. If I decided to take that extra curse chest, would have gotten killed right there. Mark my words. However, what was I saying here? Let's stop taking curses. The time for taking curses is over. It was going great for a while there, but I'd say that, you know, curse time is over. Time to knuckle down, get the business here. Is knuckle down even the right word? I don't know, but just say it is anyway. Oh, okay. I mean, it's really... This run is going just fine. Survival, you know, single weapon runs, they work really well with survival. You get so much survivability, even outside of the fact that you're going to be missing, what, 4 stats? Just due to the fact that you're not taking any... Well, if you have everything fully upgraded. Almost got me, but not quite. What was I saying? Yes. I'm losing out on 4 stats because I'm not filling out the skill slots with items. Or I'm not filling out the main slots with items, you know, whatever you're doing for... Whatever weapon you're using for the particular run that you're doing. And that's why, you know, getting double extra health and double extra ability to heal that health makes it a very notable... Oh, well, I can't, but, like, that would actually be a genuinely really great item with this. You get the poison there. You get a little bit of maneuverability. Locks enemies in place, helping you to smack them in the back easier. Really easy to get, like, pot shots and stuff like that. Ooh. Very nice looking, but if it had the 100% on poison, that's what I would be looking for. Does... Well, okay, just real quick. No, that one doesn't. I don't need the 100% on that because I got the 100% on poison and a way to get poison. But, you know, Phaser is just not the run. It's not the run. It's already had its redemption arc. I'm already completely in on the Phaser train right now. It's just not the run. I gotta stick to my guns here. And by guns, I mean spears. Yeah, 21 survival right now, and Necromancy is only giving me 0.77% when an enemy dies. It's still worth taking. Don't let me try to convince you that it's not completely worth taking. This sucks. Well, that wasn't actually too much damage. The amount of healing you get, like, just watch how quickly I get back up to full health without using a potion charge or anything like that. Well, provide that I can find any enemies around here. It's still worth taking. And of course, on high cell difficulties, you get the malaise heal. It's what makes it even still worth taking on non-survival runs. However, the lack... I mean, it used to be able to do 3% per kill, and then even more than that because it was bugged out and said 3%, but it actually went higher. The mighty have fallen, but the mighty are still pretty mighty. You're going to be killing enemies. You're going to be killing enemies. Why give up on some of those fresh, delicious heals? They're free. It's a passive that you don't have to do anything for. Stuff like, nah, I think that what I got right now is just fine. Critical hits plus 30%, 100% on poison, versus just flat 20% damage that I don't have to worry about not getting hit for. That's that whole stress thing that I was talking about. Dead Cells is a stressful enough game already. It's like I don't have to put more undue stress on myself. Oh yes, by the way, I am currently back up to full health, so there you are. And 23 survival on a 2-cell run says I definitely did not need to risk certain death by taking a bunch of cursed chests here. This sort of statage is fine for finishing up the game, no question. Really, my major concern is bosses. And honestly, maybe even more than Hand of the King, Timekeeper could be an issue. Because she is fast, and she does not like staying still to get comboed. So that is very much not good in my case, comparatively. Did I get hit by something? I didn't even notice that. Because, yeah, I don't have my critical up. And I lost my kill count and everything. Well, that's too bad. Oh, well. I mean, what am I actually doing for damage right now? 20,000 with a critical, 8,000 without, double that if I decide to go for the poison. It's looking pretty nice. Oh, did I never actually mention... yeah, I guess better late than never and everything, but this is dropped from the Slammer enemy, the gigantic crow dude that you see in the Cavern and the 5-cell area. It is... not too bad to get. I definitely recommend, like, you know... really now. If you're going to be going into the Cavern for blueprints, go in on 0-cell mode. I've heard some people say that, like, they weren't sure if you could go in on 0-cell mode. You most absolutely can. You just need to beat the game first to open up the area. Because you need the Homunculus rune for that. But it's like, past that point, you can go in on any difficulty possible. It stays unlocked forever. You just need to get the key. I mean, you can unlock it at 0-cell difficulty. You just have to have beaten the game first. Let's go. Actually, let's get the poison here, and then double damage. Looking just quite nice. 17,000 health is also going to help me out a lot here over time. Yeah, I'm feeling pretty confident. Feeling good. And I don't think this is going to be a tremendous problem at this point. I mean, I think at this point I would have even been able to get the time door going into the clock room for the Sepulchre. Like, I am ahead of schedule in every way possible. I was worried that this was going to be difficult due to, you know, well, I guess I might as well. I was worried that this might have been difficult due to the fact that I thought I was going to be getting hit a lot, and, you know, I don't have the usual stuff to back me up. Wolf Trap works really well with this, getting a cudgel. Any sort of freezing, really, assists you a lot. I mean, just in general with any survival weapon, but also, of course, this one. Okay, very nice, very nice. If I can do this flawless, I would not be opposed to that. Also, haha, he said the weapon name. 2, 3. Well, that's a problem. Not too bad for damage, but it's like, eh. Okay, yeah, see? I told you. It's the speed. Just rally up all that health. Okay, I do have the heart. Don't forget that the heart is still here. It's going on like the theme to the Titanic. There we go. Well, a good start, but hey, I mean, I'd like to say that my worries about dealing with bosses were not unfounded right now. I'm gonna see if... Oh, no. You saw how that fight went. Taking 100% is suicide. But anyway, I do think Hand of the King is going to be easier. And I don't think that I'm going to need to take a potion charge. I'm going to see how much Necromancy works for me here. And even if it doesn't, even if I need to go into full panic mode, I do have the heart with me. Will freeze all enemies around me. I can get into a nice safe area, everything like that. Still, this might be playing with fire, but I mean, getting burned has never stopped me from playing with fire before. And it certainly won't be doing it now. Come on now. Just missing each other over and over. Oh, great. Alright, yes, like I said, playing with fire, getting burned, etc. Don't fall into the trap. I know you're going to fall into the trap. You were thinking about it right there, and that doesn't actually work. Oh, yeah, and I still got smacked anyway. Oh, well. Fine. Just do that too. Do I think that... You know, speaking of this, do I think that Flawless is better than War Spear? I kind of do. War Spear is great and everything, but it's very specific in its usage. You can't just, you know, use it whenever you want. You can't just use it whenever you want. You have to, like, line up enemies. And although that is very common on higher cell difficulties and everything, it is also... The requirements are weirder and doesn't work as well on boss fights and everything. So, I don't know. Whereas, like, this, as far as the spear goes, the reach is not nearly as much. I mean, that's unquestionable. However, the usage you get out of the fact of just the huge damage makes it way more worthwhile. Wow, dude! Oh, well, that was a little bit scary. Do I? Oh, let's just do it. Whew, boy. Holding my breath for that entire time there. Which is good, because then the mysterious shadows can't see me. As we learned in Agent York's memories. Dream state. Red place. You know what? Let's just not even worry about fighting that particular group of enemies. I don't really like my odds. Idiot. I don't have a head. Okay, well, that's more of an issue. It's as if he could hear me taunting the other guy and then came to help out his buddy. Okay, well, health is now looking pretty good. If I got hit by that slasher even once, it would have not been looking very good. Make no mistake on that. But that's not what happened, so we're totally fine, as it turns out. It doesn't stop me from tugging at my collar a little bit. Collar a little bit. Tongue twister of a word. Phrase. Should turn on the fan here, shouldn't I? Oh, well, I'm still glad that I'm not encountering a ton of Arbiters down here, but those Inquisitors are not really, you know, making me all that much happier. And they're certainly better. I don't want to say that they're not better, because they are. But, same as it ever was, really. Hey, we got rid of the Inquisitor. We got rid of the Arbiters to... Well, we got rid of the Inquisitors to replace them with the Arbiters. Oh, you didn't like that? Well, we got rid of the Arbiters and replaced them with Inquisitors. It's so much easier now to play Dead Cells. You now get a bonus instead of a detriment when you rest to XP. Ah, 2 of them? And there we go. And there was the 2 of them again. Yeah, just get them in like a nice small area here. They're going to have a lot harder time attacking me. That 15 seconds goes by pretty quickly. It's not too bad at all, as Lonnie Mitchell would say. Or Eminem, who I think was the real creator of that song. I don't know, whatever. And I would like to thank you for this excellent weapon. Alright, let's get out of here. I guess if I got the opportunity, I should go for the full 3 keys and get the extra stat and everything like that, but it's like, you know, how much am I willing to risk? Because I've already kind of fallen, you know, by not taking curse chests and all that on the side of being risk averse, and I don't think that was the wrong decision, let's just say. This is ridiculous. Anyway, yes, I don't think I made the wrong decision in any way, but it is also like a much less risky proposition as opposed to trying to kill the... or trying to get rid of the curse, after all. I don't die in one hit against any of these enemies, presumably. Of course, it's with the way I'm playing, it doesn't really seem like I'm trying to die in one hit. I'm trying to test how many hits that I can get before I die. Just ignore that. That's what I was worried about. But thankfully, like I said, damage on the weapon is still good, even despite the lack of critical and all that. There we are. Just keep going for it. I mean, pretty much the only major issue with this type of weapon is getting used to the swing time and just in general playing the game. I mean, it's definitely one that benefits you a lot more if you played a ton of the game versus a little bit, if you know all of the patterns for all of the enemies and everything like that, as opposed to being fresh. I mean, that's always the issue when it comes to working with survival just in general, because... hey, it's a... okay, there we go. You really have to have a certain level of mastery over the game to make this work, but then, you know, your level of... this is ridiculous. Your level of survivability then becomes much more... it's hard to explain, but I guess, like, what I'm saying here is that this is the Gradius style of difficulty, where better play means easier game. And not just because you're dodging better, but because you get so many more other benefits even aside from that. Stuff like Playing perfectly against bosses gives you legendary weapons, which means you got a better chance against enemies in the future. Playing fast through the game means that you get the time doors, etc., and so on. Everything like that. It's a little bit of game design that I don't know if I agree with a lot of the time, but you cannot deny that it is here. Baby got an obsession with perfection. Perfection Obsession would also be a good name for, like, I don't know, an improv troupe. I think that's what you go for if you're gonna do anything. Do I get the... No, I don't get the potion charge here. Ah, well, Necromancy is not going to be doing me too much good here. So I still want to keep the heart. I still want to keep that inside. Let's switch out for engagement. Disengagement. Because disengagement... It's like, if things go wrong, I have the heart... and I have disengagement. And those will be what makes sure that I'm not going to be getting totally destroyed in this fight. Hopefully. We'll see. Obviously, priority one is going to be kind of watching my back to make sure that I continue to get my critical. Being able to go through only one attack to get into the next phase is definitely not a bad thing at all. Don't get hit here. That would be very stupid on my part. Let's just go... Oh, he's starting to break out. He's coming out. He wants the world to know. He's going to let it show. And there it is. Two, three. One, two, three. Nice. Very nice. In fact, I'm just gonna... You know what? I'm not even gonna risk this. This is going well enough that... It's... Oh, and there's the hit that I took. Of all the flawless hits to be taken in all the world, why'd you have to have that one be the one you take? Well, anyway, should... by the time that I kill this thing, have my critical back up. Man, if I otherwise get a perfectly flawless fight with this, I am going to be quite disappointed in myself. And you should be too. Okay, yeah, that wasn't going to happen anyway. That's fine. As far as a hit to take, that's an okay one in my book. Oh, come on. It's like one hit left, my dude. Then I whiffed it. Whatever. I won. That's what matters in the end. Would have liked to have had that be a flawless fight just for, you know, the sake of the weapon, but hey, what are you gonna do? Not too bad at all, and like I said, still a great weapon, but still just... It's the mental toll that it takes on you trying never to get hit. And even if you do, the weapon's still fine. It's just... It's always in the back of your mind there.